Hi, everybody. I wanted to share with you our FSO workbook. Some people had some questions about this and how to use it. Many of you have bought our Essential FSO forms and Essential FSO documents and our Essential ITPSO forms and documents. And I realized that I need to show you how to use these. We've also created a new product called the FSO Workbook, and it is a one-stop shop for everything that you can download to begin your FSO workbook. This workbook is essential to your security program, and I'll show you why. For those of you who may be new FSOs or do-it-yourself FSOs, this workbook is going to save you a lot of time. This is a thing that I implement at my other business, Thrive Analysis Group. Again, I'm Jeff Bennett. I'm with Thrive Analysis Group and with NISPOM Central. NISPOM Central is basically the store where we sell our books and products. You might remember the company Red Bike Publishing. I still have that company, but our store is called NISPOM Central, and that's what I've been branding here lately for the past couple of years. What I wanted to do was write books, training, and products for FSOs. So many of you have asked, I would like to become an FSO. I've worked in security, I've worked in law enforcement, I've worked in these different environments, and I would like to come to the government side to do things, or to the defense contractor side. Because, from the outside looking in, you're not going to get access to the training or the professional organizations that teach you how to become an FSO, or at least let you know what you need to do to become an FSO. There's no college or career track or anything. A lot of us that have become FSOs have stumbled into it. It wasn't on purpose. So hopefully NISPOM Central can bridge that gap by giving you a place to go to learn how to become an FSO. If you are an FSO, it's a great place to go for your professional development. I mentioned to you that I would be writing a new book for FSOs. I've got a book that is about the NISPOM. Now I'm going to write a book for FSOs, and the primary crux of it is, how do we become successful as an FSO? This is a formula I like to use. We have, and it all will lead back to this FSO workbook. Thank you for those who have downloaded the FSO workbook and watching this video now. The electronic files is our day-to-day life. As FSOs, we might be working in NIST, DIS, and NBIS regularly. DCSA has created these databases for us to upload facility clearance information in NIST, personnel security clearance information in DIS, and in NBIS, we use that to initiate background checks. But while there are forms, or while there is a database for us to input reports, our employees can't enter those reports themselves. They don't have a dashboard. It is all for the FSO or security staff. We need to provide forms to our employees so they can fill them out so that we have the information we need to upload. That's just one example of our day-to-day work being in DIS and the need for these electronic files that we work in every day. And this could be something that we need to draw from a fundamental repository called the FSO Workbook. We create forms, we create training in here, and demonstrate that somebody requires a clearance and that our facility clearance is approved or is justified. We keep all that in here. And then we upload inputs to our electronic databases and, of course, download reports back in here. The self-inspection program is something that I do consistently. It is a check on your security program that you do yourself. Well, how do we know that we're doing it right? Well, we go every day into our electronic files, and then we also look at the supporting documents of training, tracking that training, etc., in the FSO workbook. And once you get a good rhythm here in this area, you're most likely going to get satisfactory. But you may deserve more. So you've got to get that good rhythm, the good artifacts here in the FSO workbook. Then at that time, you can take charge during the DCSA review and lead them through the gold standard criteria. And I've got another tool for that as well. Now, the next part, we're going to get into the FSO workbook itself. Like, as I mentioned, CSA provides the NIST, DIS, and NBIS for us. Now, in my training, I like to use the word CSA. I do that because, here's a little tip. NISPOM does not mention DCSA. They mention the Cognizant Security Agency. The Cognizant Security Agency is part of the Department of Defense, and it is called Undersecretary of War. The Undersecretary of War for Security and Intelligence also has sub-offices. One is called the Cognizant Security Office. That is who DCSA is. But they do not say CSO in NISPOM. They say CSA, Cognizant Security Agency. The reason being, maybe it's because names are changed often. DCSA was formerly DSS. DIS was formerly JPAS, and NBIS didn't exist 3 years ago. So NISPOM takes a good recommended shortcut of saying CSA databases or CSA resources. So that's why it's there. Hopefully that was helpful to you. But they provide these, right? And so we go in NIS and upload files. We talk to our industrial security representative and send them information through NIS. We go in DIS every day and do VARs and foreign travel. We go in NBIS to upload information and get investigations started. But again, as I mentioned before, we don't have all that information. We've got to get it from somewhere. So information in our FSO workbook becomes inputs into DIS, NIS, and NBIS. And then when we need to generate reports or demonstrate compliance for a DCSA review, we download them into our FSO workbook. Just a small part of your DCSA review is going to be in DIS, NIS, and NBIS. There's some work up front that they're going to review these databases for, but they're going to want to see something at your site when they come for a security review, and that's going to be your FSO workbook. All right, so how does it work? We've got so many domains to keep information in. These highlights are what I recommend as folders in your DCSA workbook. If you take a look at these folders should contain these documents. All these documents I do provide for you, including training, templates for SOPs, and secure standard practices, procedures, insider threat policies, SEAD 3 policies, training, and everything else. They do not get uploaded into here. However, we have to train somebody when we put them in, when we give them access in DIS. They have to be training, right? And we have to record that training. That all happens in the FSO workbook in these local files. Now, your FSO workbook could be put on a shared drive or on your desktop, but I at least recommend before going to your DCSA review that you print it and put it in a 3-ring binder or some kind of binder. So again, these files here that we see, we had to put foreign travel into DIS. Well, how do we know the employee's information? We get them to fill out a foreign travel form. Also, before they go on foreign travel, they need to have a foreign travel briefing within a year of that travel. So we have a foreign travel folder. We have that foreign travel presentation that tells them the expectations. We have a foreign travel briefing and foreign travel debrief. So that's how we recommend you putting your files together. But I'm going to go a little bit further. So again, I've created the folders here, and now you can have a good idea of what should be in each of these folders so you can demonstrate during a DCSA review, keep up during your daily maintenance of your security program, as well as gather information from employees that you need to submit them for their clearances or submit them their reports or visit authorization requests. Again, we work every day in these CSA databases, but we need to draw information from here. So here's a quick example. When you download the FSO workbook, you're going to get forms, training, documents, procedures, tools, and potentially a few books, right? So you're going to want to know where to put them. And again, you have your FSO workbook compilation that you download, and then you will create folders, subfolders, and you might create one called policies and procedures. And in that policies and procedures folder, you might have the insider threat program, the SEAD 3 policy, and the standard practices and procedures. In our FSO workbook, I give you an insider threat program template, a SEAD 3 policy template, and standard practices and procedure templates. And you will put those in these folders. And I just highlighted this in blue. But we can do the same thing for security training and briefings. In the subfolder you'll have called security training and briefings, you're going to put in there the security awareness training, insider threat training, initial security training, and we have other training as well. We also have briefings that are required, briefing forms for CINWITI, for NATO, ComSet. And so we will have those forms in there. All you need to do is build your folders until we find a way for you to download folders, right? We're trying to build those for you, but we're trying to show you, once you get these files, how to organize them in a good way. So again, for those of you who downloaded the FSO folder, thank you. We're going to go a little bit more in depth. But for those of you who are curious about the product, once you get this, you will have access to this FSO workbook. This video is going to describe further, for those of you who are downloading, how to arrange these folders. You'll have over 20 forms that you need as an FSO to file reports. You have your VAR, your foreign travel form, your justification form, appointment memos. You'll have also additionally, we've got adverse information report forms, foreign relations forms, everything else that is put together for you to download and use. These forms are also in PDF format they're fillable. The policies and procedures templates are in Word document so that you can fill in the blanks and add or subtract as you tailor these policies for your security program in your organization. And again, bouncing it off the DD Form 254 requirements. We have policies and procedures templates. We have CAC form procedure templates, insider threat plan, as I mentioned earlier. You also have cleared employee training certification, which includes security awareness, insider threat plan, senior management official training or orientation, C3, reporting information, CUI, and much, much more. Thank you for watching this video and learning more about the FSO workbook. I'll post more videos on these platforms as I build out other products. The important thing to remember as we wrap up is DCSA provides databases for us to work in. We work in them every single day. While we're working in them, some things we don't need information for. We're tracking our inputs and we're tracking security clearances and we're maintaining our security clearances. But many times we need to file forms. So that's what the FSO workbook is for. It's to create product for our uploads into DSNS and NBIS, their inputs. And we also create a place to track compliance. We may need to download reports. And we also may need to create training and track that training, create forms and track those forms and demonstrate compliance. So these all work hand in hand. We have electronic files and the FSO workbook. We recommend that you use your self-inspection program to inspect contents of the FSO workbook and the electronic files, and also start tracking what you're doing so that you can answer the questions, the gold standard criteria, and potentially get commendable and superior ratings. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll drop things in our link.